Alright, so with the latest release of the newest Godzilla Minus One sequel, at least the teaser trailer, I thought it'd be a really fun idea to do a little top 10 video of my favorite Godzilla movies. Big Godzilla fan here. I have almost all his movies on Blu-ray. I've watched almost all of them. If not, I have watched all of them, I'm pretty sure. Been watching his movies since I was like a kid, so thought this would be a little fun idea to do. Now, unfortunately, Godzilla has a lot of movies, so some of them couldn't make the cut, at least not in the top 10. Maybe I should have done a top 15, but I don't know if my phone can handle that much storage. But I can at least do a top 10. So I am going to give a couple of them an honorable mention in the next section. But without further ado, let's just get started. So for my honorable mentions, I got Godzilla vs. Megalon, Godzilla King of the Monsters, the Monsterverse version. I love that film, but I just couldn't include it in here. Godzilla vs. Biollante, Godzilla vs. Mothra, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. Both of those versions, specifically the 90s one, like the Heisei era ones, Godzilla Final Wars, and Gojira. Now that one might be a little shocking not to include it on the list because it is the original and it is arguably, not even arguably, it is the best movie in this franchise. But that's why I couldn't include it, because it'd just be way too obvious to put that at number one. So to be fair to the other movies, I decided not to include it. But just know that if it were to be included, it'd be number one. To start off the list, at my number 10, I got Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. Now, to be specific, I am talking about the 70s one, the one from the show era. I really, really like that movie. That movie is so freaking cool. It has a lot of things I really enjoy. Obviously, Godzilla looks great in the film. I think the fight scenes are really good. I even enjoyed the story about alien apes, invading Earth. That was pretty interesting. And Mechagodzilla himself is just awesome. This movie is also surprisingly violent. Like, I was shocked because this was at a time where they were trying to, gear more towards kids. But this movie is actually pretty bloody, which I wasn't expecting. But the one thing I love about this movie is King Caesar. I freaking love King Caesar. I know he doesn't do a lot, and yes, he does kind of get his ass kicked a little bit from Mechagodzilla. Like, he does put up a good fight at first, but then Mechagodzilla just destroys him afterwards, and it isn't until Godzilla shows up to help him out to make the fight a little bit more even. But King Caesar's awesome, man. I love him. Despite the fact that he wasn't in the movie much and it didn't do too much, he left an impression, and I feel like a lot of that has to do with just his design. I absolutely love King Caesar's design. He looks fantastic. He's the one monster that I think would work perfectly in the Monsterverse, and for some reason they don't want to include him, which is a shame because he would fit in that world so well. But for his first appearance, I thought it was good, and again, I really like his design. I think he's a cool character, and he's pretty underrated. I know he's a lot better in the comics, so there's that. Like, if you want to see a more badass King Caesar, read the comic books. He's way cooler in there. But for his first appearance, I thought he was good, and it's just the movie in general. I really enjoy it. Like, I love Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. It's better than Terror of Mechagodzilla, and it's just a good movie. This is when they were trying to make better films because a couple of their films before this weren't the greatest. But this is honestly a good movie, and I really enjoy it. And at number 9, I got Godzilla vs. the Astro Monster. Another movie that I absolutely love for a lot of reasons. It's also one of the only movies where they have an American actor in the lead, like in the original Japanese movies, Nick Adams. I thought that was really cool. I actually enjoyed his character in the movie, and it looks like he himself enjoyed the film, so that was good. I also like the little relationship he develops with that alien chick. I don't remember her name, but I thought that was pretty neat. But that's besides the point. Like, the human characters aren't bad. They're actually pretty decent. But the real stars are the monsters. Like, the monsters look great. I love the fights in this. I love that it's Godzilla and Rodan teaming up to fight against Ghidorah. I thought that was really cool. The alien plotline isn't bad. I actually quite enjoy it. But the main thing I love about this film is because it takes place in space. Like, it's one of the only times where Godzilla fights somewhere that isn't Earth, and the fight scenes in space just look really cool. Also, this is the movie where Godzilla does that little dance. I love that. It's so stupid and ridiculous, but I don't care. It puts a smile on my face. But yeah, that's my number 9. I love Godzilla vs. the Astro Monster. At number 8, I got Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. Now, this one's definitely like the black sheep of the Heisei era. Doesn't really get talked about too much, and it is the movie with the most flaws in the Heisei era. Like the suits, while still looking good, there are some shots where you can see the suits kind of tearing apart. Like there's literally a scene where Godzilla's in the water, his tail goes up, and you see the tail like ripping off. But that's besides the point. That is just small nitpicks. I really enjoy this film. I think it's really good. It's also one of the movies where I guess it's more sci-fi-ish, or at least a lot more lighter in tone than some of the other films in the Heisei era, which I didn't mind. I didn't mind that at all. So I really enjoy it. I think Godzilla looks great. Space Godzilla is such an awesome villain. Like I absolutely adore him. The little crystal designs he has on his shoulders, the fact that he controls crystals, has telekinetic powers, the way he fights Godzilla. It's just awesome. Again, the design is the main reason why I love him, but it's also because of his abilities. Pretty underrated villain in my opinion. I kind of hope Space Godzilla shows up in that new Godzilla vs. Kong movie called Supernova. I don't know. Maybe he is gonna show up in it, and I hope he does. Imagine the MonsterVerse design, but with the crystals. That'd be awesome. Also, this is a movie with Miki. I really enjoyed Miki as a character in a lot of the other Godzilla movies. This was like, I believe, her fourth or fifth appearance before the final movie later on, which I'll get to later. But yeah, I enjoy Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. It's just a really fun movie in my opinion. Like, yes, it is the weakest in the Heisei era, but it's a movie I grew up watching a lot. Like a lot, a lot. This used to be on Crackle a lot, before Crackle disappeared forever. But this is one of my favorite movies in the Godzilla series and just one of my favorites in the Heisei era. Like, even though it is the weakest, it's just really enjoyable and I really like it. 7, I got Godzilla versus Mothra. Now, I really enjoy this one, and I'm specifically talking about the original one. I like both, but if I really had to pick which one I like a little bit more, I would go with the original one. Just because, mainly for a little bit of nostalgia, and I just really enjoy it, honestly. I actually think it's pretty good. It has one of the best Godzilla entrances in it. He's actually doesn't come out of the sea. He comes out from the dirt because he was taking a dirt nap. I thought that was pretty cool. His design looks great. The fights between Godzilla and Mothra are actually pretty good, surprisingly, because Mothra is a moth. You wouldn't think she would put up much of a fight, but she actually does. And I actually quite enjoy it. And I like how, towards the end, she has her offspring teaming up with her to fight Godzilla. It's a good movie, honestly. I think it's really, like, enjoyable. It's not too high up, but it's also not that low either. It's just a movie that I really like, honestly. Like I said, Godzilla vs. Mothra, the first outing, is pretty good. And it helps that Mothra had her own film before showing up in a Godzilla movie. But for her first appearance with Godzilla, I actually think it's well done, at least in my opinion. I really enjoy it. Like I said, it's mainly here for nostalgia, but I do stand by and say that it's a good movie. At number 6, I got the final movie in the Heisei era is Godzilla vs. Destroyer. I love this movie. I think this movie is really cool. I like the setting of it. It feels very apocalyptic. I love Godzilla's new burning design. I thought it was really cool, in my opinion. I love Destroyer. He's one of my favorite Godzilla villains, especially for design. He just looks absolutely demonic. Like, he looks evil, which was intentional. He looks awesome. He's also, again, just really intimidating. And I'm pretty sure he's one of the only villains where Godzilla didn't beat, from what I remember. I think Godzilla actually lost. He didn't beat Destroyer at all. It was actually the military who beat Destroyer, which was surprising in my opinion. I also love the evolution that Destroyer goes through from a little tiny crab to like a monster crab with like 4 legs a little bit and into this giant monster towards the end. He's just awesome in my opinion. The fight scenes between him and Godzilla are great. And like I said, it's one of the only times where Godzilla actually lost. So that's honestly shocking in and of itself. And of course the ending. The end to this movie was absolutely sad. It was like the first, not even the second time Godzilla died. And this event was so important that it actually made it into like an American news. And this movie wasn't even released in America. It was so shocking to see Godzilla die in a film that it made it into American news, where the movie wasn't even shown. That's how impactful this moment was. So yeah, I love Godzilla vs. Destroyer. It's maybe the best in the Heisei era, probably. At least it's definitely one of my favorites. I really enjoy this movie. It's just really good. Here, we're here at the top five. This is the ones that I have a decent amount to say, and the ones that I really, really enjoy. Firstly, I got GMK, Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, All Out Monster Brawl. One of the most unique movies in just Godzilla history in general, because the way Godzilla is created in this is not just from like nuclear atomic explosions. He's also possessed by the spirits of the victims of the nuclear bombs that happened all those years ago. And I just thought that was really interesting to make Godzilla more of a mythical, spiritual monster than just a creature created from radiation. That was really, really cool and just makes the movie infinitely more interesting, in my opinion. I think the story's good, the human characters are actually pretty good. The designs for the new monsters, like Godzilla, looks menacing. I'll put a picture somewhere with his piercing white eyes, his ghostly white eyes. He looks absolutely threatening. And he doesn't play around. Like Godzilla, this is one of the only times where I've seen Godzilla purposely go out of his way to hurt people, like actually kill people in the movie. Not just because they're in the way. No, he actually goes out of his way to hurt as many people as he can out of malice. And that's terrifying. As for the other monsters, I think Baragon is awesome. I'm so glad they put him in this movie. I just wish his name was in the title. Mothra looks great. I really enjoyed her. Again, they changed her origin a little bit. But the strangest inclusion is Ghidorah, because Ghidorah is actually a hero in this movie. And that's probably my only complaint, is that I can't buy Ghidorah as a good guy. I really can't. I think they should have switched Ghidorah for someone else, like maybe, apparently it was going to be Varen, but Toho said no. If you really wanted to keep the title of GMK, you could have used King Caesar, in my opinion. Like, he would have made a pretty good inclusion as one of the guardian monsters protecting the Earth from Godzilla. But that's entirely something else. Like I said, that's my only complaint about the movie, that Ghidorah as a hero just does not work. He looks great. His design is awesome, but he just does not fit to be a hero. Other than that, this movie's awesome. The fight scenes are great. I love how the movie ends. I thought it was great. And just again, this is probably the most terrifying version of Godzilla. He is an absolute menace. And I love the more spiritual aspects of this movie, the more mystical aspects they add to this film. That way it makes it more unique. But yeah, if you haven't watched GMK, please do. Out of the Godzilla movies I mentioned, like the top five, I think that this one in particular is a must watch if you're getting into Godzilla. It's just a great movie. And at number four, I got Godzilla vs. Kong, specifically the MonsterVerse one. I love this film. I was so excited to watch this when it was first announced. Obviously, I didn't watch it in theaters because, the pandemic. But I did watch it a lot on HBO Max, and I thought it was freaking awesome. It gave me exactly what I wanted. Less human characters, even though there are good human characters. I enjoy I forgot her name, Gia, the little girl in the movie, and Rebecca Hall. I thought they were good characters. I really enjoyed them. I think the story with Millie Bobby Brown is it's whatever. It's not that interesting in my opinion. Gia is definitely the better character of the two. Her story is more interesting. But the real star of this movie is definitely Kong and Godzilla, especially Kong. He's the monster we follow the most in this movie, and he's great. He's the monster that is able to, show us a lot more range and emotions. I like the little journey he goes through trying to find his own place because they took him away from Skull. He's trying to find more of his people. That's his journey in the film, trying to find a new home and also find if his species is still alive. I thought that was really interesting. Godzilla's mostly here as a villainous role, which was interesting because he was not a villain in the last two films. So that nice change up was actually really good in my opinion and well done. I absolutely love it. Then that doesn't mean that Godzilla doesn't have character in this movie at all. He does. Like Godzilla, he has a lot of character. Like when he fights King Kong, there's this one scene where he blasts him in the back with atomic breath, and he smiles. He actually like chuckles at that. That was menacing. I did not expect that, and that's just another compliment I can give the movie. The fight scenes are freaking awesome. If you're looking for just pure action in a kaiju film, then Godzilla vs. Kong has it in spades. There's so many action scenes in this movie, and I love it. And I also love who won in the movie. I'm not gonna say who, just in case anyone hasn't seen it, But I was very happy to see who actually won between the two. And of course, the surprise villain towards the end was awesome. Even though it was kind of obvious if you saw the leaks, you knew he was going to be in it. But the main star of this movie is the monsters and just the fight scenes, and the way the movie looks is just beautiful. It's very colorful, and I really appreciate that. But yeah, I love Godzilla vs Kong. One day I gotta do like a full review on this movie one day. But just know that in my Godzilla list, it's my number 4, and it's just an awesome and enjoyable film. And the sequel was also pretty good. I I should have included that in the honorable mentions. Count this as me including that movie, New Empire, in the honorable mentions. And I'm looking forward to Supernova. I can't wait to see what they have cooked up for us for the next movie. At number 3, I got probably one of the most underrated movies in the MonsterVerse is Godzilla 2014. Now, this one might be strange to put in because I know a lot of people don't love this movie. Well, it's kind of mixed. Some people love it, some people hate it. I'm in the camp that loves this film, especially since the last American Godzilla movie before this was terrible. I was hoping this one would be a lot better, and hey, it was. I love this film. Look, the only thing is I don't like about it, let me just get him out of the way, is that, yeah, Godzilla doesn't show up as much as I would like him to. I wish he was in it more. I wish they did stop cutting away from the monster fights. I wish they showed more monster fights. And I wish they didn't kill off Bryan Cranston's character. Yeah, like, oh god, the son character, played by, oh, why am I blanking on his name? Aaron Taylor Johnson. Love that guy. He's a great actor, but he's just not that great in this movie, and he's not that interesting. I really wish they just kept Bryan Cranston. But that's it. That's it. This movie's mostly full of positives. I think the lighting is amazing. The cinematography of this film looks fantastic. The atmosphere is great. This movie's basically like a disaster film, but with monsters. And the way Godzilla is shot in this movie from like the ground, and you kind of makes you feel like you're in the film watching this monster walk past you, and it feels grand, and I absolutely love it. And when we do get to see Godzilla fight towards the end, it's fantastic. Like I love the fight scenes towards the end. It's great. Sure, they could have maybe lightened it up a little bit, because I'll admit the movie can be pretty dark, not even metaphorically, just physically. Like, it's a little dark. So if you're gonna watch this film, turn the brightness up so you can see what's happening. But I just love this film, man. The score is amazing. The cinematography is great. Godzilla's portrayal is fantastic. His new design is both respectful to its original version and just trying something new. And it looks great. Like, when you look at that Godzilla, you can tell it's Godzilla. So yeah, I love the 2014 movie. It's one of the more underrated movies in the MonsterVerse. I'm not gonna get too in depth because I actually do want to talk about this film one day in its own separate video. But just know that I love this film. I thought it was really good, and it's the most underrated movie in the MonsterVerse, and I think it deserves more love. It's a great movie. It's not gonna be for everyone, I'll admit, but I really enjoyed it, and I think Gareth Edwards did a fantastic job with this movie. And I honestly kind of wish he came back for the sequel just to see how he would have done it. But either way, at least we have this movie, and it's great. Then at number 2, I got Shin Godzilla, a movie that I really, really enjoy, but it's also another movie that's kind of divisive. Some people love it, some people hate it. I really enjoy it. I don't mind the human story at all. I actually think it's pretty good. The political talks they do have in the film, while obviously don't resonate with me because I'm not from Japan, it's still very interesting in my opinion. I recommend you probably watch the movie sub. Like, I watched it in dub, but it's not bad in dub, but it's most likely better with its original language. I think Godzilla is fantastic in this movie. He looks absolutely menacing. Like, I know I said GMK was probably the scariest Godzilla. I take that back. I think this Godzilla might be the most terrifying one. Like, this Godzilla looks absolutely apocalyptic. Like, he looks like he is a demon summoned from hell to go destroy the city that he's going after. And it's, man, he's scary, man. He's scary. And this film is filled with a lot of beautiful cinematography, terrifying scenes, in my opinion. Like that one scene where he's in the city and he's like charging up his beam to destroy the buildings around him. It is terrifying. And then after all that, we just see him walking through the fire behind him. It's scary. Like, I'll put an image up somewhere here, but it is absolutely terrifying. I love this movie. I think it's really, really interesting. I like how Godzilla evolves throughout the film until he reaches his final form. And he would have kept evolving too if they didn't stop him. Which his final, not even his final form, his other form after that would have been a lot scary too. But I love this movie. Like I said, I think the human characters are good. Is it a bit slow at times? Yes, but I didn't mind it that much just because I did think it was a little bit interesting what they were talking about. Mainly just finding ways to stop Godzilla, and you root for them. You root for the human characters. You hope that they're able to find a way to stop Godzilla. But the real show stealer is Godzilla himself. He just looks terrifying in this film. This is probably one of the scariest Godzilla movies, in my opinion. And I love it. Like I said, the atmosphere, absolutely apocalyptic. This is another movie that one day I gotta go more in depth to. Just know it's my number two. I love Shin Godzilla, and I really wish we got that second film, but that's never gonna happen now, which is fine. At least we still have this first one. My number one, I got Godzilla minus one, the movie that won a lot of Oscars when it came out, and a lot of it, not even all of it, deserved. This movie has great special effects, really good human characters, which I'm not gonna say it's like super surprising. Like some of the old movies and some of the movies I talked about before have good human characters, but this one has like fantastic human characters. I love the story of the pilot. Like I was rooting for him throughout, and the actor does a phenomenal job in this movie. And it's actually a pretty emotional film at times. Like it really is quite touching too. Like it touches your heartstring a little bit, not even a little bit, a lot. Like it's really good. A lot of it is just the acting. This is probably the Godzilla movie with the best human characters in my opinion, and I stand by that. Like this movie has the best human characters, and I actually enjoyed their story, and I didn't mind that we were following them a lot because their story was very engaging. So yeah, props to this movie for giving us really interesting human characters. I was not expecting that, honestly, and I was not expecting it to be as emotional as it was, but it was really good. It was really good. I was shocked. Like it talks about survivor's guilt, making amends with people, or at least with a person you feel like you're wronged. It's just a really good story for the human side. Now, as for Godzilla himself, he's fantastic. He is again terrifying. He's very menacing. The scenes where he does show up, it's great, and he looks great. He's more reminiscent of his Heisei era look, which I appreciate because I love that look. So this is basically that, but a more modern look for him. And I just think he looks great, and he does a lot of really cool but also terrifying stuff. Like the scene where he goes into the city, and every time he takes a step, the ground just you know goes up, and there's people on there, and you can tell those people are getting hurt. It's some terrifying stuff. Like I love this movie, I really do. When that scene also when he just shoots his atomic breath, it's just really good. Like I said, the special effects are amazing, the story was great. It's just a really good movie, and I think I'm comfortable with putting it at my number one. It was genuinely good. Like there's a reason why this movie won all those Oscars, and it deserved them. It is truly a fantastic film. So yeah, Godzilla minus one is my number one in my Godzilla list. Maybe one day I'll do a ranking of all the Godzilla movies, or maybe update this with the top 15. But for now, this is my number one, and I absolutely love this film. And I'm looking forward to that sequel, just to see what more they can do with these characters and just to see where the story goes. So yeah, that's my list.